Woo! Join in. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? You got some work to do now. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, I see you. There you are. Right, it's you now.
I'm not sure that's how it goes.
Exactly. We're going to be playing an inspector's version of Scooby-Doo. All right, so I've got the 5 character cards for the mystery team.
The Scooby gang?
For Scoob and the gang. You got it. And, yeah, and I'll explain how that stuff works. It's inspectors, so it should be pretty familiar.
Did you put any thought into my Elroy Jetson from A Dark Future?
Mm-hmm. That's one of the characters I got. But
Perfect.
remember, you don't know if you'll get him necessarily.
Damn it.
Okay.
I don't know how inspectors works, but I'm assuming
It's pretty straightforward. The big thing is basically like you have certain stats. You roll a number of dice equal to that stat, and you keep the best one. And depending on how high that best one is, you do either incredibly poorly or very, very well. And
okay,
right. So, but you guys narrate a lot of the results. So once you do very, very well, you're telling me much more how this goes than merely like, oh, I bonk the swamp monster on the head. Like, okay, not only that happened, but how did this go super well? Like, you take over and tell more.
double bonk.
Yeah, double bonk. I'm double bonking.
You eat a sandwich with only 3 layers.
Mm-hmm. I put a whole turkey in my mouth and pulled out all the bones. Yeah, so there's that. And then when bad stuff happens to you, there's a stress level of it, depending on how bad it is, and you roll a number of dice equal to that, and you take the worst of those dice.
Okay.
So that's basically the deal. You also have certain abilities. Everybody has a certain either 3 or 5 abilities, depending, and I'll explain that in a second, that disparity. And those abilities, if you can narratively work in that ability with what you're doing, you then roll an additional die, is the deal. So mechanically it can help out a lot there.
Cool.
Alrighty. So, the traditional Scooby gang is Daphne Blake, Fred Jones, Noville, Shaggy Rogers, Scooby-Doo, and Velma Dinkley. Does anybody have a preference on who they'd want to be?
Not Scooby.
Not Scooby.
I'm not doing that voice.
I'm trying to decide between Scooby or Shaggy.
That you do want to be or don't want to be?
I do.
Oh.
Well, I think
Guys,
you
do.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's been chosen.
I don't think I care too much, so I'll just let.
All right, well, I'm going to give you Scooby-Doo, because you're the only person who's expressed an opinion.
I was thinking about being Scooby. But
How's your Scoob voice?
I don't know.
You could be
know
Shaggy and you guys could pal around together all the time.
You got to Scoob
You guys could be
That's
FFs.
the Scoob off.
Alright. Like, hey man, I want to eat some sandwiches. That's my
That's a
Shaggy.
pretty good Shaggy.
Pretty good one.
That does sound pretty good.
Alright, how's your Scooby then? Ruh-roh.
Yeah, basicly, that's exactly what it sounds like.
Do you have to do anything with your voice tomorrow?
Nope.
Okay.
Let me think. Bro, Shaggy.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's it.
All right, that's it.
All right.
That's
it. Marisa as Scooby, David as Norval, Shaggy Rogers, armpits itchy.
But what's the top 10 destination?
Being me.
Mm-hmm.
Those songs.
Yeah, I get you.
Also Robin.
Fred does all the Frank Welker. All right, so we got Fred, we got Daphne, and we've got Velma.
Any opinions?
Of those 3, I don't really care which one I am. You should close your eyes and just throw them.
Do you want me to just randomly assign them to everything?
Oh, no, you can. I thought you were actually going to throw them. Don't do that. Yeah.
Let's play a game you're interested in
It's
next
the
time.
light, yeah.
All right.
Well, do you have a person you wanted, Katie?
Nope.
Like, we didn't even ask her.
Why didn't you say something? I'll trade with you if you...
No, I would have said something opposed.
Who do you want to be?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good with the person.
Alright.
Alright, I'm Daphne.
All right. All right, so Jacob as Daphne Blake. Alex, are you?
All right.
I'm Velma.
Alex is Velma Dinkley.
I have a 1 physical.
And Katie is...
And I'm Fred.
And Katie is Fred Jones. Fred Jones. Okay, so in Inspectors, you have those different stats. And they pretty much go along with how you think. Intellect is for like figuring stuff out. Physical is for any kind of like predominantly physical activity. Equipment is for when you're using stuff. So if you're trying to
Put out a fire.
Oh, actually, like putting out a fire is a great example of it. If you're trying to figure out, wait a minute, what caused this fire? That's definitely intellect. If you're trying to be like, I'll hold you to safety, that's physical. If you're trying to turn on the fire system to turn on the sprinklers, that's
I
equipment.
was thinking a fire extinguisher. Yes, I could do that too.
Also,
I have to hack the fire system.
Yeah.
Get past that firewall.
Yeah. It's all coming together now. And then personality is basically like social stuff. So one of the things that you'll notice is
Like,
that...
tell everyone about the fire.
Is
Yeah.
it out of 5?
So the highest that you would have would be 4.
Damn.
So
Dang, I got no
the
fours.
deal is, though, you'll notice that Scooby and Shaggy have notably lower stats than everyone else. In part just because of how their characters are, but also Scooby and Shaggy have 2 more
Specials.
powers or specials or abilities. The other thing that Scooby and Shaggy can do, I think, is Scooby and Shaggy can also use their abilities on stress rolls where the other characters can't. So where you guys can, where Fred and Daphne and Velma can use their abilities on things they're doing, when bad stuff is happening to them, they can't use those abilities. They just have to roll regular stress rolls.
So do we get 1 fewer die in that case?
Yes. Yep. Or would it be 1 fewer? I think the better way to do it would be you take the second worst. So you throw away the
Makes
worst.
sense.
Yeah.
So you can pick.
It basically works
Yeah.
as a cool die, if you
Yeah.
remember how cool dice work in Inspectors. All right.
Is there the like the what's that like
The
hot seat
confessional?
thing? Yeah. Is there
So
that
in
thing?
Inspectors is shot almost like an office reality show style thing where there's that like the confessional where they're like, I can't believe, or more reality show kind of thing where it's like, I can't believe that so and so did this to me. That's when I knew it was off the chain. And then like all of a sudden like it allows you to change up how the story's going a little bit. I don't think we have any of those. I think we'll just take a break at some point and just refresh everything.
I like your example.
That's when I knew it was off the
That's
chain.
when the Harlem Globetrotters were on Scooby-Doo, right?
Hey, you never know if you'll encounter
How many Globetrotters are in this?
If they don't show up in this game, I'm gonna be pissed
tape.
off.
Yeah. Could you hand me a pencil?
It's the Globetrotters all along.
All right. So we see the gang in the Mystery Machine, and there Fred is driving, and we see Velma and Daphne in the front seat, and then Scooby and Shaggy and like poking their heads out from the back, and
The same tree passes every.
Yeah, the same tree passes repeatedly. And we've got some music. It's nighttime, of course, and it's misty. And Fred, you're noticing you guys are out in like the middle of nowhere.
Why are we driving?
to your next. Well, obviously, why are we driving? We have to be visiting one of Daphne's relatives. Who's the relative we're visiting, Daphne? I forgot who was playing Daphne. I just kind of blankly looked across the table. I looked at a cup of coffee.
Come on, Daphne.
Second cousin Jimmy Fritters.
Second cousin who lives out in the middle of nowhere, Jimmy Fritters Blake. All right, so you're going visiting your second cousin, Jimmy Fritters, out in the middle of nowhere.
Like, there better be some fritters here, guys. I'm so hungry.
Me too.
That's why they call them fritters, right, man?
Are you sure we're heading the right way, Daphne?
Nope.
Well, according to this map that I got at the last gas station, we're about 20 miles away from the nearest rest stop, so we can figure it out from there.
All right.
Yeah. That gas station was like totally out of fritters. I hated it.
All right. Could somebody roll one of those dice for me? So one die. You can roll it in the box. You need 6. All right. So as you guys are driving, the road is real misty, foggy, and you pass by a spooky forest. And you guys, the road kind of veers away more towards a town that you can see kind of up ahead, but it's still a good distance off when you think, uh-oh, is this a crossover episode with Speed Buggy? Because you hear like, and then, uh-oh, no, Fred, it's the Mystery Machine.
Oh no. The check engine light wasn't even on.
It's true. The check engine light wasn't on at all.
Fred, I told you at the last station to fill it up with premium. What did you do?
Scooby!
Thanks for lightening the mood, Scoob. But now it looks like the Mystery Machine is broken down, and we're going to have to get out and walk.
No!
I know how much you hate walking, Scoob. You're a dog.
Dogs.
Maybe Shaggy will carry you.
Yeah.
Hop
Like-
into your arms.
Zoinks, I'm too hungry to even walk.
Oh no.
Who has those Scooby snacks?
That's Velma.
I've got him.
Velma's job.
All right, I'll give you one Scooby snack if you get out and check under the hood to see what's wrong.
Well, I guess like there totally could be fritters under there. Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
All right.
All right. So, Shaggy...
He follows his nose to that Scooby
Yeah.
snack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta check first.
Okay. So, Shaggy opens the hood of the van, and he's looking in there, and...
Like, I should not have smoked all that stuff during mechanics class. I'm so high, I don't even remember what it's called.
Yeah, so if you want to make an equipment roll, you are more than welcome to figure out what's going on, but you can also just say that you just don't know anything about what's going on. It's up to you on that.
I've got great equipment, man.
Hey, you got a 4 and a 3. So he would take the best of those, and on a skill roll, 4 is fair. Describe the mostly positive result of your action, but you must include a negative or humorous effect. So I'll tell you that, like...
I got...
You're gonna need to get a bunch of, you blew a bunch of gaskets, man. That was the issue.
Mm-hmm.
You know pipes, and these hoses are just pipes, and they're all kinds of blown. And you know there's a carburetor in there that's not working out well, so you're gonna need to get some replacement parts for this.
I don't
thing.
like these accusations about these pipes, man. What are you trying to say?
You're a great singer.
Okay, so...
There should also be a negative or humorous effect as well.
Yeah, there is a fritter in here.
And Scooby just comes and grabs it.
Oh, man.
All right. So
It was cooked to perfection, man. I forgot I left that in there before we left.
could someone roll another die for me? Just one. What do we get?
5.
A 5. All right. You guys see headlights coming down the road, and this is kind of one of these crazy middle of nowhere roads, and the headlights of a big vehicle, and it kind of slowly plods along. This thing's going real slow, and you eventually realize it's a city bus.
Oh, man. It
Let's-
looked like good size for ice cream truck, but I guess not.
Let's get on and take it to the nearest town.
Not a bad
Works
idea.
for me.
All right. So the bus does indeed pull over, and there's a guy that looks like a cartoon version of John Goodman who's driving the bus. And no, it's not that. It's what's his name from Honeymooners, from the Honeymooners.
Jackie Gleason?
It's Jackie Gleason. And he's like, all right, well, you kids are stuck out here. I don't remember what Jackie Gleason sounds like.
I think that's pretty good.
Similar.
To the moon, Alice. I know that.
I was going to say, the only line I remember.
His wife's in the bus, but she's crying. It's been it got dark. Now no, Jackie Gleason is the bus driver, and it says
To the moon.
it says to the moon on the top of the car on his lunch pail, and he's like, What are you kids doing standing out here?
Well, sir, our mystery machine broke down. Do you think you can give us a ride to the nearest town? Where are you headed?
It's like, I'm heading into town. That sounds like a great idea.
Well, that's where we're headed too, so can we get on? We have a dog, though, so...
All right, well, is he a service dog?
He provides a service, yes.
All right, that's all I need to hear. Oh. All right, so where are you kids from? So you guys hop on the bus, and I think there's only like, there's maybe like one or two like people who are kind of like sleeping or just like reading a newspaper or something like that. And Jackie Gleason, the name of the character as well, Jackie Gleason will explain to you that this bus, the main route that he's running is just between these like two towns. So he makes like 2 or 3 stops in the town that he's going to, and then he goes across, makes 2 or 3 stops in another town, and like the whole route. That's basically all he does all day. But he's like, yeah, where are you kids from?
Mysteryland.
Oh, never heard of it.
Scooby's just sniffing around and looking for food, and maybe getting into Jackie Gleason's lunch pail.
Oh yeah. All right. So go ahead and roll for me for that. What is there? You think there's a particular skill related to that? Is it his intellect? Maybe
Physical, right? No.
Physical?
Yeah, because he's like tracking. He's looking for clues.
I feel that's more of an intellect thing. He's got to figure it out.
All right. He's doing intellect.
Or one of your little
He's doing a think.
Okay.
Other things apply?
No.
There.
3.
You got a 3. All right. On a 3, it's not great. The GM decides your fate, but you may be given a chance to suggest a single positive, albeit minor, effect. So you, Scoob. Yeah, you definitely see now he's got a lunch, and one of the bus riders, one of the bus passengers, has a bag that's full of something that smells pretty good at first, but when you like go over to it, the bus driver's like, the passenger is like, "Those are my samples! Get out of there! What do you do? Who let this dog on the bus? This is insane! I've never been anywhere where there's a bus with a dog on it. That's absurd. A madness. No," and he bundles up his things that Scooby was sniffing. They smelled pretty good, Scoob. But he bundles those up, and he's like, "Oh, you should put this dog on a leash." And he grumbles.
Well, we're sorry, sir. We'll try to keep him closer, but shouldn't you have those in a more protected case?
Yes, it seems I must have them in a more protected case. Anyway, you kids, Mystery Town, huh?
Mysteryland.
Mysteryland? Never heard of it.
Wait, like Creepy Man, you said something about samples? Like free samples? He's licking his lips.
Yeah, you guys are on like a different... Yeah, so they're maybe Daphne and Velma are talking to the bus driver, and Scooby and Shaggy are harassing this German man, and he's like, "They are not samples of anything you'd want."
I don't know, man.
That sounds
Pretty hungry.
Ominous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Scooby's shaking like comically, like.
Something I wouldn't want.
All right, you guys do all notice that as you pass by, kind of on the outskirts of town, that there is... never mind, I'm sorry. We pass... The town is built like right on the kind of outskirts of this misty, dark forest. And pretty soon you guys kind of pull into town, and the bus driver can tell you, like there's a mechanic over there. Most likely he won't be in till tomorrow morning, but if you leave a note, he can pick your truck up. He can pick your van up on the way, or he can go tow your van into his shop.
Garage.
Yeah, garage. That's what they call it. I work as a bus driver. I know this. And he goes, "Otherwise, kids, looks like you're probably here." And he points to a hotel, and the hotel is called the
Misty Forest City
And
Hotel.
The Misty Forest City Inn. All right. The Misty Forest City Inn. And it's a pretty small place. It looks like it maybe used to just be like a large individual home that like the rooms have been kind of converted into like a big house that is now a B&B kind of a thing. And he's like, yeah, this is the only thing that's like a hotel in this town. Otherwise, you're going to have to get a ride all the way back up to Crabapple Township. And
Wait,
I can't have any passengers on anymore. And he clicks the thing that says, like, not in service.
hang on. What do you say about crabs and apples?
Crabs and apples. And he runs off the bus immediately towards the B&B.
Well, gang, looks like we're gonna have to check in here for the night.
Well, I'm real interested in one of them bees. The breakfast.
Breakfast.
Maybe I can try to call cousin Jimmy Fritters with the inn phone.
Well, since the sun's going down, they probably won't have breakfast till tomorrow morning, but maybe we need to settle in and get some food later?
Yeah, I love food.
I don't know about you guys, but I could really use some shut-eye.
All right.
Okay.
So we see the gang kind of do that weird loping walk that they do.
All legs.
And the other two passengers also leave. They get off and they also go into this hotel. And so pretty soon...
Professor Samples.
Yeah. Pretty soon...
And wait, and Crying Alice?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Professor Samples and Crying Alice.
They pretty soon you guys are all in this the hotel. I'm just going to call it the inn. You're all at the inn. And they... I guess I don't need to wear these. They, who knows?
For the listeners, he's taking off his pants.
Yeah, I don't wear these. I'm wearing two condoms on right now.
You need all three.
Yeah. So, as you guys kind of come in, there's someone who, fuck it, Jimmy Fritters is like, Cousin Daphne, I never expected to see you here. I don't know why. I'm from a different branch of the family. I sound like this. And everybody on this side of the family talks this way. Hey, Cousin Daphne, welcome. And he's standing behind the, like, concierge or, like, welcome reception desk. And it's like a kind of an old-timey thing. There's no computers of any kind in sight. There's a phone on the wall.
Oh, your
very
cousin
thin
works
raft.
here.
Yeah.
It's the 70s, right? So.
Yeah, he's wearing just
What's it
like an
computer?
indescript
What's that?
blue shirt. That's like, oh, hey there.
Hey, Jimmy Fritters.
That, you guys, I thought you'd be in town earlier. You get stopped up or something?
Yeah, the mystery machine broke down.
Oh, shucks, that ain't no good at all. You guys, well, if you need a place to stay, old Jimmy Fritters has a spot here for his cousin Daphne and all her friends. Hey there, you must be the gang Daphne's always talking about.
Yeah, and like cousin, we also had to skip dinner, so if you have any of that.
Well, yeah, if you want to hang out down here, most folks say the rooms is a little small, so most folks just hang out down here in the lobby. And since this is like a children's cartoon, it's clear that the lobby would be like a bar lobby, but it's not. There's no alcohol of any kind. It's just a bar with nothing in it to like. So the characters are there for that same purpose, but there's no alcohol.
Could it be like a soda fountain?
Sure, yeah, like, we had this soda fountain put in a long while back, so if you guys want, I can come help you out in just a second, and we got some snacks.
Scooby just becomes a just a puff of air. And all you see is him run towards the snacks.
Oh, there's like the Scooby-shaped outline?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, and, yeah, they've got just a bunch of, almost the equivalent of like Hostess cakes kind of things, or like those pre-wrapped muffins.
Sponsored by Hostess.
Yeah, sponsored by Hostess. These here the Hostess cupcakes are really good. I love these Hostess cupcakes.
Like my favorite is the Twinkie.
Yeah.
It has cream inside, but the cake outside is even better. What's your favorite?
I'm a ding-dong man myself. A yodel and a ho-ho. Yeah.
And they all just hold it up to their face.
Yeah, this is good.
10 seconds.
Yeah, so there are a number of characters in this bar, in this lobby, and in part because Johnny Fritters is like Jimmy Fritters. Johnny Fritters was his father. Jimmy Fritters is like filling out the paperwork, essentially, basically being like, these people are going to be in this room, and here's the key, and he's like walking around probably and giving people their keys, but folks are still just hanging around here. He also is like bringing people's luggage up, and so everybody's kind of just hanging around in this bar, and there are... I'm not good at math. I had to count on my fingers just then. There's 5 other folks aside from yourselves in the bar. 2 of them are the people that had been on the bus. So the man with his samples. And then...
Crying Alice?
Why is this person called Crying Alice? I didn't get that
Said
joke.
she was crying.
Yeah,
Jackie Gleason's wife.
Oh, I meant that as a throwaway joke.
Spoken into existence.
Right.
Yeah.
So
She's real.
a crying woman is also there, and she's reading a book, and she's very upset. But yeah, there's a the people include the kind of shadowy man with a bag that he didn't let Jimmy Fritters take, and he's kind of clutching it to himself. There's an older couple who very clearly have British accents. I think the man is wearing like a bowler hat, and the lady has kind of like big, like almost blue hair. There's a very, very tall African-American man with an afro who's in a basketball jersey.
Perfect.
Yes, and then finally there's that woman who is reading a book and just crying. And everybody's just kind of waiting around doing their
What does this
stuff.
Professor Samples look like? Is he...
So, the guy who we're calling Professor Samples is a man who has kind of like a hunch to his stature. Mm-hmm. And like I said, he's wearing...
Skexy?
Yeah. Trial by samples! He has kind of like an overcoat on, like a gray-green overcoat, and he's carrying like a sack. Like it's not a case, he has a sack.
Can he look like... You know Boris and Natasha from Rocky and Bullwinkle? Mm-hmm. Can he look like Boris?
Yeah, but he's very short.
Dastardly looking?
Like,
yeah.
Like extremely short, and he's hunched over this thing, kind of like surrounding it and looking around a bunch, and he's drinking a root beer.
Drink of the villains.
Mm-hmm.
Jinkies, that character sure looks suspicious. I wonder what's in that bag. I'm gonna go ask him.
Oh, no. He's very upset. He's worried about it.
Okay. So, Velma goes over to Professor Samples. But meanwhile, what else is everybody else doing? We'll hop back and forth.
I feel like I should go ask the lady why she's crying.
Okay. So Fred's gonna pull his magic move on this crying woman.
Yeah.
I see Fred.
Yeah.
All right. Blow into town. Just...
That was my idea.
Okay.
I'll join you, Fred.
All right. So Fred and Daphne.
split up.
This lady's crying.
Yeah.
Fred and Daphne are gonna double team this crying woman situation. The old 1-2. All right. So, how about Scoob and Shag?
Scooby's worried about Velma going over there by herself, but he's just going to be over by the bar stuffing oatmeal pies in his face instead. Just watching, I think. Next is Shaggy.
Yeah, and Shaggy's making like a little train of these like Twinkies.
Mm-hmm.
He's unwrapped them all and put them into a little train, and then he's like chewing them into his mouth.
Nice. Love it. All right. So yeah. Okay. So Velma goes to talk to Professor Samples, and he's like, "Oh, you kids are here at the hotel as well, at the inn. Well, perhaps I was a bit rude. I apologize. My name is Dr. Afton Balek."
Well, Dr. Afton Balek, I couldn't help but notice that you mentioned you had samples. I'm a little bit of a scientist myself. Are you as well?
Yes, I am a scientist. I've studied at the University of Frankfurt. I got my degree in
Hot dogs.
hot dogography. Yeah. So when he says Frankfurt, you guys are like, hot dogs? No, he says, I had to remember what entomology.
Jinkies, that's fascinating. So are those the samples you have in your bag?
Yes, these are my samples, and he reaches in and he takes out and he goes, most inns don't like to see these, and neither do bus drivers so nosy. And he pulls out a jar, and it's just full of weird beetles.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating. Hey, Daphne, come over and look at this.
Am I afraid of beetles?
Fuck it, yes. Yeah. So Daphne's like, yeah, like, ew. So go ahead. This will be our first stress roll. Okay, but this is not a particularly stressful thing. So they're in a jar. You can easily get away from this. So it's just one. So you just take one die.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So you want it to be as high as possible.
Okay.
Three. Okay, so it's not too bad. Not great. The GM decides your fate, but you may be given a chance to suggest... Nope, that's the skill roll. All right, so at a 3, you're stressed. So you're going to do temporarily, till we refresh, lose one from one of your skills. So one of your skills is going to go down.
Oh, no, I need a pencil.
These are just chopsticks. So one of your skills will go down. You can determine the one you want. You can reduce a skill to 0, but that means you just automatically fail whenever that comes up.
Oh my. Alright. Well, my equipment is worse.
Alright. Cool. So Daphne sees these beetles, and the beetles smell really crazy.
Oh.
And he's like, yes, it's their mating season, and I must be very careful with... Well, he wouldn't say that in this, like the beetles are going through a metamorphosis. I have to mind them very carefully. And when you freak out, he huddles them like, no, my precious little children.
Well, that's gross.
All right. So Daphne shrieks. All right. Meanwhile, across the room, we've got Fred is going to talk to this woman who she's reading a book and she's just crying.
Hi, ma'am. I can't help but notice that you're crying.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh
Are you
my.
okay?
These books are just so... They get to me every time. I'm just a big fan. Oh, they're so touching, and when they get sad, they just get so sad. Hello, I'm Marge Dimplebush.
I'm Fred Jones.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Hello, Fred. Oh, are you and your friends? Are you and your friends visiting town?
Yeah, and for... How long are we staying?
A week.
A week.
Oh, while you're here, you should definitely visit the library. I'm a librarian from out of town, and I'm here to check out some of the many books they have. But this is just such a sad story.
Do I know how to read?
Yeah, Fred knows how to
Roll
read.
for it.
Fred is illiterate.
Roll for your literacy.
Yeah. That's it's canon game. That whole time. Yeah, so you see the book, and the book that she's reading is what would be an absurd book for someone just to be crying over.
50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, it's 50 Shades of Grey. And she's like, it's just so beautiful. His Dom jeans.
Maybe I'll swing by sometime.
Oh,
To the library.
okay. She gives you a book, and she's like here. Oh, this is just so. I'm a librarian. I can't not share the wisdom and the knowledge that I get and the beautiful things. Here, take this. It's a copy of.
Mein Kampf.
It's a copy of Mein Kampf. Beautiful, beautiful writing.
Does that add to my intellect?
Nope, not that book for sure.
No, you're right.
That's your insanity rating. Yeah. All right. Cool. So yeah. So she's like, oh, it was so nice. It was so nice talking to you, Fred.
I already forgot it.
My name is Marge Dimplebush. How could you forget that kick-ass name?
Marge Dimple.
Marge Dimplebush and Dr. Afton Belek. All right. So meanwhile, Scooby and Shaggy are going to town on these snacks, and this older couple are like, my, this isn't. I've never seen a dog eat Twinkies, Hostess's Twinkies before. And the woman's response is like, and that young man with the disgraggled hair is joining him, eating them all. Why, they're squeezing the wrappers and shooting them out and into their mouths. It's absurd. As you guys are doing that, one of you is like, hey, Scoob, go along! And you go to, like do that thing where you squeeze the wrapper and it shoots into Scooby's mouth. Mm-hmm. But you see an arm come out and grab it, and then you hear... Oh. And the Twinkie is spinning on this guy's finger, and he's like, you guys got some great skills. Pretty nice.
I was like, what is this whistle?
I was trying to do the Globetrotter
It was pretty good.
I'm not good at whistling.
It took me
apparently.
a second.
Oh, wow, man, that's really good food skills.
Yeah, I'm good on the court, and I'm good in the... eating food.
In the kitchen.
In the kitchen. I was like, the kitchen.
That's the kitchen where they make Twinkies.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm an all-star basketball player, but I always wanted to be a chef.
Oh, that's totally awesome. I've always wanted to eat things that chefs make.
Yeah. That sounds pretty cool. Let me ask you one question. Are you guys nationals?
No.
Okay, good. I've been burned before. Anyway.
Hey, man, if you're trying to be a chef, you can't burn things.
True enough. Let's go for a 3-pointer. And he goes to shoot a shot into Shaggy's mouth, but Scoob goes.
That's robbing me.
Yeah.
All right. Basketball fact.
And this Globetrotter's name is
Oh boy.
Herb Derflinger.
Mm-hmm.
Herb Derflinger. That's me.
Classic African American name.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Herb Derflinger. I also have Wilbur Ross. Is that a better one?
Slightly.
So, what's his name? Wilbur Ross or
No,
Herb?
we'll go with the first one.
Herb Derflinger.
Just making fun of you.
Okay. Oh, well. All right, guys. Say, you guys know this town well?
No. We're just visitors, man.
Oh yeah. See, I came into town to kind of take it easy. Schedule of being on the road is so tough on me. But this town seems weird. Something's up.
What's weird about it?
Well, go ahead and roll one die. I didn't think the Globetrotter would be describing this, but I didn't know how to get into it.
3.
3. Dang. Everybody's pets are disappearing. Yeah, he's like,
Jeepers, Scoob.
The owner here, Jackie Crumpets, he said that he used to have a cat and the cat disappeared. These this old British couple over here, they had a parrot with them. Things up and gone.
And then Velma wanders over. Jinkies. Are there any other clues that could possibly lead to this?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I had a lizard, and now that thing's gone. Let me think. Go ahead and make a intelligence or intellect roll. Sorry, I almost vomited.
How many?
A number equal to your intellect or intelligence on your character sheet.
The number of dice.
The number of dice. Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So, and if you're using an ability, you roll an additional one, and you keep the highest of those.
Do any
dice.
of your little abilities?
I got if we look closer.
Are we looking closely at anything right now?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what
Let's look
Herb is
closer
gonna
into
say.
this tail.
Right, like that's why I'm asking him about the clues.
If you want to do that, you can use the extra die if you want.
Oh, the secret is just to bullshit them until they work.
You cross it off.
It's like writing a high school essay.
Okay, so hold on. Cross it off for now.
Yeah, or like put a check mark next to it so that say like, okay, you've used it for now and you can't use it again until we refresh.
Okay. So now I have to roll 5
Refresh.
dice I. Oh my god.
It's pronounced Dicky. Well, you just take the highest one.
Okay.
The highest.
It's 4.
4. All right. So with a 4, that's pretty good.
That sucks.
It's fair. You describe the mostly positive result of your action, but you must include negative or humorous effect. So I'll give you some general stuff, and you guys can kind of fill in some of this here because I only have like a little skeleton of a premise of an episode written. So Herb Derflinger, the all-star Harlem Globetrotter, he's the quarterback. Probably. I don't know.
Point guard.
That's why I said forward in basketball.
Goalie.
Yeah.
He's the right fielder.
Point guard.
Point guard.
Defenseman?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
He's the ball handler.
yeah.
Dribbler.
He's the guy who normally spins the ball on his finger and also is the one that pretends that he's pregnant with the ball and gives birth, but then bounce shots it into the hoop. So he's pretty good.
What is that called?
Dope ass move. But yeah,
Classic.
So, yeah.
I don't think the Globetrotters actually play
Basketball.
basketball, do they?
They do
They
tricks.
do, but it's a trick
And play
basketball.
It's like fun.
Do they?
Yeah.
Against
It's
against the
like a pure
Washington
entertainment
Nationals.
kind of thing.
That's why I keep bringing up the
Have you heard
Nationals.
of them?
I
Like
was
the
like, is
rivals.
this another
I've heard of them, but I've
German
only
joke?
seen them cameo on shows.
Yeah. Like Scooby-Doo, right?
And Futurama.
It's like famous.
And
You
also
gotta ask yourself, are you
And also-
funky enough? Are you?
Gilligan's Island.
Over time, my funk levels could. No.
I forgot about Futurama. That's great.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's what I've been
Oh,
thinking.
you're that bubblegum tape.
Yeah, my theorem of quantum physics.
So, all right, but yeah, so Herb Derflinger, all-star forward Harlem Globetrotter, and aspiring chef describes to you how all these people had brought pets. Like all these guests of the hotel, these other guests of the hotel had pets, and the pets have disappeared. His own lizard.
What was the lizard's name?
The lizard's name was Little Scrumpkin, and Little Scrumpkin disappeared. The cat that
And what was the cat's name?
What was the cat's name?
the Sutterfields is the name of the family. The Sutterfields cat.
Big Ben.
Was Big Ben. Big Ben disappeared, and he keeps calling him Jackie Crumpets, but Jimmy Fritters. Jimmy Fritters. Oh no, I had
Parrot. There's a parrot.
There's a parrot.
That's right.
Oh, Jackie Crumpets is the owner.
So
No, I think he mistook him for Jimmy Fritters.
that's right. The British couple had a parrot, and that was Little Scrumpkins.
Ah, okay.
And the Jackie.
Do you have a corkboard? Mm-hmm. And some yarn?
Yeah, we're gonna connect all of it together.
Yeah.
Do we have a map of the town?
And Jimmy Fritters had a cat named
Timothy Oliphant.
Timothy Oliphant the cat. Yeah.
If I had a cat, I would name it Timothy.
That's a sexy cat.
So good looking.
You guys
That's why you're not allowed within
So
Yeah,
talented.
3 miles of a cat anymore.
Oh, yes.
Good looking.
Are you young persons all talking about the disappearances of our darling little Scrumpkins?
He's crying.
Why didn't you take this time to make the British couple, instead of British, the couple from Green Acres? One of them could have just been Zsa Zsa Gabor.
Oh, you're right.
Do you want to start over?
Yeah,
We're
let's
in the
start
mystery
over.
machine.
All right, you're in the mystery machine.
Yeah, to the beginning. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
The Neptunes show up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so like, are you talking about what could have possibly happened to our little Scrumpkins? Oh, have they seen her? Have they seen her?
It's not Zsa Zsa.
I'm not. I'm a lost Gabor sister. Crimby
I was gonna ask you a
Sutterfield is my name, and this is my husband, Tag.
Well, we're gonna look into it. The mystery team is. God, what do they
On the
say?
case?
On the case.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know.
I'm pretty
I
sure.
think Scooby wants to
We're gonna get to the bottom
Sounds
of
right
this.
to me.
Scooby
also
wants to
sounds
dress
right.
up like a baby.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing. Scoob isn't our pet. He's our service dog.
Yeah, but he's an animal.
I think it's a good plan though, so that if there's a pet napper around, they think that you're our baby? Question mark
Oh,
instead of our pet.
Do
Whose
be
baby?
careful. I don't want you.
Collective baby.
I mean, if there's
Everyone's
like a baby in the lobby, like an old baby, and just puts on a bonnet and
Yeah.
like a little like
Is it an
tablecloth,
old baby?
He finds
Yeah, Scooby
That
takes
adult?
Scooby takes the tablecloth.
like an antique baby doll, because
I
there's
see.
always like weird baby dolls
Okay.
in weird hotels.
Duh.
And Scooby.
So it's a bonnet on,
All right.
and then a tablecloth. So and then like,
Okay, we'll have you roll for this in a little bit to see how good your costume is. And
Hi, what's a hairy baby?
Jimmy Fritters comes back down and he's got keys for everybody. He's
Oh, all rooming separately?
no, I think the standard way they would always do it would be like Shaggy and Scooby and Fred have one room, and then Velma and Daphne have another room. Is usually how they've done it in the show. And he's like, "Oh, guys, I got you. Yeah, I got you keys. There's 2 rooms left still, but I overheard a little bit. Y'all are talking about pets.
Wait, like you said there were quiches?
Oh, I mean there were, but they're for tomorrow. You didn't eat those, did you?
Oh, I might have. I had a lot.
Oh, they were frozen still. You mean frozen quiches?
chattering
Maybe.
teeth.
Yeah. We see an earlier scene with Shaggy taking a quiche out and biting it and going like, "Oh!" as he clunks down on it. And he's like, "Oh, listen, lay off with the pets. I'm real upset about my kitty cat, Timothy Oliphant. How he disappeared on me. I don't want to bring it up. It's pretty bad."
Well, we're gonna find.
I said, don't bring it up, Daphne.
Sorry, Jimmy.
Sorry, Jimmy, but
Why? Oh, each one's like a dagger.
in your butt,
in my butt. It's like a dagger to the butt.
we need to know, were there any suspicious circumstances before Timothy Oliphant disappeared? I'm trying with a straight face. I tried.
He knows what you did last summer. He's like, I don't know. It seems like this is maybe a personality role because you're trying to get this info out of him, and he doesn't want to talk about it.
It's not my
Somebody else
strongest.
could
Is
do
that
it.
you? Okay.
Yeah, maybe Daphne can talk her cousin
Come
out
on,
of it.
cousin Jimmy. We can help you find him. We solve mysteries all the time back in Mysteryville.
Land.
Mystery.
I'm gonna change it every time.
Mysteryton.
All right, so go ahead and make your...
Mystery Shire is next.
You're from North Mistershire. That's not what they said there. So go ahead and roll your personality. And if you have an applicable ability, you can add a die.
I love applicable abilities.
I ate them all.
I've got my great aunt ... Is that meant to imply general relative or specifically a great aunt?
I think more specifically a great aunt,
All
but
right, well,
if
then,
you could say
cousin
like
Jimmy, great aunt
Your mother.
mischievous.
mischievous fritters. That was my mom.
Always said, if you lose a pet, let your cousins help you find it.
The old country saying.
Yeah, okay, go for it.
Loudly.
All right, what's our best die?
4.
Four.
Man,
Damn,
we're
everybody's
low.
getting 4s. Okay. So fair. Describe the mostly positive result of your action, but you must include a negative or humorous effect. So the thing I'm going to suggest is he's like, well, and you look up and there's a family coat of arms and it does say, if you lose your pet, let your cousin find it.
I love that.
But yeah, he's down to tell you what he knows. Give me a funny thing about this though, or another maybe like hiccup to it.
Lots of cat flatulence is involved.
That's on the thing. Cat farting is part of the
Into
coat of
your
arms.
cousin's face.
Yeah, and there's a cousin like, oh, jeez. And it has a word bubble that says, "Oh, geez." All right.
It's in Middle English.
Yeah.
OSGS.
Yeah. So, so he's like, "Oh yeah, last couple months, all the pets in the whole dang town been up in Van Moosen, including Van Morrison's pet Van Moose." Van Morrison's hit hard times. He lives in a van here in this town.
With his moose?
With his moose.
Or just
Not
regular
anymore.
Morrison? He's just Morrison.
Yeah, now he's Morrison. He doesn't need to specify because he's with the van all the time.
And his moose.
Yeah, even he disappeared.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's real crazy. Everybody keeps saying that something's going on, something's up. That all these critters done up and disappeared. I mean, and all of it happened in the last 2 months.
Did anyone move into town in the last 2 months?
I mean,
Anybody new? Any city slickers?
I mean, I'm used to dealing with all the city slickers here at the inn, because this is the only inn in town, and this is where people come through, and I get so busy making sure to polish all the doodads and Chickamauga
Baby dolls.
baby dolls. Old Aunt Chickamauga's baby doll collection.
Oh,
It's
my
important
God.
it's important to polish their terrifying dead eyes. So
Your bonnet looks just like that.
something's wrong with this baby doll. Looks at Scooby. And he's like, "I forgot Aunt Chickamauga had some ugly baby dolls."
Maybe Scooby wants to start sniffing around the grounds.
Okay. That sounds pretty good. All right,
But he
so
wants to do it in a baby carriage. that Shaggy has to push around.
Yeah, and Shaggy's definitely going to dress up like the mother of this baby.
okay.
Cousin Jimmy, do you have any cloths you used on, or Timothy Oliphant's brush? Maybe Scoob can catch the scent.
No, what do you mean? And he has it in his pocket, absolutely. And he's like,
He was sniffing it the entire
yeah,
conversation.
exactly. He was petting just the stuff he pulled out of the brush, and he's like, "I guess so. Here you go." Yeah, and he just takes that clump of the hair out of his pocket, and he's like, "Don't lose that. It's all I have to remember him by."
Oh, Scooby eats it.
Oh no! You're gonna get one of those weird things inside your stomach. It's a bunch of cat hair mixed together with Twinkie cream. All right, but yeah. So now the game plan is, now that we know that all the pets in the town have been going missing over the last 2 months, including Van Morrison's Van Moose. Its answer's name was Van Moose. But yeah, so now the game plan is the mystery team's going to do some investigating around the place.
Do some sleuthing.
Okay. So Scooby is going to try to do some tracking. All right. So would this be more of an intellect roll, or we said this before as a, I forget, either an intelligence or a physical roll?
I feel like it's still physical.
Okay, I'm down for that. And don't you have a thing that says tracking?
Yes.
Okay,
I
so
do.
yeah, so you can use that, and then it refreshes once we hit and it'll come back at the refresh point.
So am I just doing one again?
Well, you add an extra if you check off tracking.
3.
So yeah, okay.
Right, so 3.
All right, get out of here. Okay.
There we go.
6.
6. All right, so when your highest roll is a 6, that is good. Amazing. Describe the result, and you gain 2, basically points, and there's a certain number of
Scooby
points.
snacks.
Scooby points. Your ratings go up. Yeah, so once we hit a certain number of points, then we'll do the refresh thing. After that, then once we hit another number of points, then we've solved the mystery. So, All right, so the thing I'll tell you, and you can give me some extra info about it to make this more fun, is that you can definitely pick up like a lot of animal smells, not surprisingly, coming from this spooky, misty forest. Like you can smell that there's definitely a lot of animals in there, and not the regular kind of animals you would expect to smell in a forest, but definitely like pets and house cats. So they're somewhere in that forest. So like that's where we got to start looking. What's another big bonus or a good thing that goes down?
Maybe he finds a bunch of collars, like maybe they're hidden somewhere in the, like he's smelling around the outside of the inn, and he picks up a track of like they're in, like a bunch of them are in an old metal box in the shed in the back.
Ooh, okay. So yeah, so behind, like kind of near the outskirts of town, there's like a dilapidated house, and in the back there's a little shed, and Scooby finds all these collars with all these different animals, little scrumpkins. We've got Timothy Oliphants, Moose, Van Mooserson. One that just says Jeremy.
Lizard.
Mm-hmm.
What was the lizard's name?
I forgot.
You changed it. The lizard's name is now the parrot's name.
I thought it was like Scrumpkins or something.
That's the parrot's name.
That's the
now.
parrot's name?
Yeah.
Lizzie McGuire.
Lizzie McGuire.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so Lizzie, this is my lizard, Lizzie McGuire.
That's a reference I understand.
There you go. The dad on Lizzie McGuire was Louis Skolnick from Revenge of the Nerds.
Yes.
Just the last name.
Anyway, that's all I got about that guy. Classic films. But yeah, so you guys find all these, you're in this shed, and there it is. A sudden surprise, which of course makes you say,
Zoinks? Jinkies!
there it is.
There are two exclamatory phrases that we could use here.
But you
Yeah.
have
I know, it's his.
Wow, don't step on my lines.
And Jeepers. I think that's
Are you Jeepers?
I looked up Daphne.
No, I think you're right, yeah.
Assist me.
Fred
with my roleplay.
just says, fuck!
Yours is just the F
Sounds like me.
Yo, no, Fred has a thing that he says.
It's
Clitoris?
he says something very like gee willikers or something very specific.
Hey, I thought it was always like, hey gang.
Maybe.
let's split up.
Like,
Yeah.
You always want to split up.
Hey guys.
Daphne, come with me.
Yeah, you always want to split up with Daphne. I'm usually by myself. Dicks.
You can take care of yourself.
Yeah, I guess.
My glass.
I'm the only one with glasses though, so that's kind of a major disability here.
No, it's not.
I should have worn my glasses for this game.
Oh boy.
Anyway.
All right, so so you guys are now in this like kind of shed. You see all these collars.
Are they arranged in a particularly bizarre way?
Or
Or
like
are
a
they just
White
like in a
Walkers?
pile?
Yeah, like
Ooh,
nailed to the wall.
it sounds like we're further investigating these collars. This seems like it'd be an intellect or intelligence roll. If somebody wants to take a closer look or really inspecticate these things.
Like
I have a lot of intellect. Okay, so I roll 4 of them.
A number of dice equal to your intellect.
Okay, got it.
Plus an additional one if you want to use an ability that would be relevant.
Book
really
learning?
poor vision.
Sure, you could maybe do that.
Hey, that is technically one of them is Jinkies my glasses. So. Hey. Whew, 6. Oh man, 3
Also
sixes.
6.
That's cool.
Pretty good. All right, so
Satan kills
so
us.
yeah, so they're in. Yeah, so these
Aborigines.
yeah,
It's actually True Detective Season 1.
Yeah.
At the mystery game.
turns out yeah,
Carcosa.
yeah.
The Yellow King.
Hey gang, time's a flat circle.
Matthew McConaughey.
That's what I was going for. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
So, but anyway, you get it. So, yes, these collars aren't just thrown in just a pile, like haphazardly. And in fact, it's weird that they're all in this one place. All right, and now you guys are going to have to pick up more for me from here. What is really crazy about these collars? their positioning.
Alphabetical.
Yes, they are alphabetical. You notice that there's a pet. It says alligator. And you're like, Jimmy Fritters did mention that someone's pet alligator got kidnapped. Bertram Bunny. You're like, oh, wait a minute. Claudette Chicken.
And
I was really hoping that was going to be crab.
We go down the list, and there is no collar for S.
Exactly.
Oh,
it ends at
shit.
R, and so S is next.
Don't worry, Scoob. We'll keep you safe. And I'll rock him.
Yeah, like a baby, rocking like a baby.
Yeah, Scooby leaps into Daphne's arm.
Rock-a-bye, Scooby.
Falls asleep.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm still picturing him dressed like a baby.
He
Yeah.
is.
I feel like he's dressed like a baby before.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
This isn't the first time.
Yeah.
This isn't his first foray
Basically
into...
dresses like a lady.
Yeah. Scooby's into diaper play.
I have a weird story related to that, but I'll tell you about later.
Wait, where's the X card?
I'm tapping the X right now. Well, gang, I definitely want to look around this shed some more. I want to see what other clues we can find to lead to this pet napper.
Hey, gang, let's split up.
That is his famous line.
Damn
Just
it,
like
Fred. All right.
Let's search for clues.
I'm going to take the back of the shed that leads into the scary forest by myself. That's the one. That's what I...
Oh, perfect.
Baby.
For listeners, just Google Scooby with a baby.
Yeah. Scooby dressed as baby.
There's a monster truck that's a Scooby-Doo monster truck.
I've seen it.
Isn't it it's very strange.
But
Cool.
is he dressed as a baby?
No.
It's got a rattle attached
That
to the
really
side.
undercut how kick-ass it is.
I'm looking for a light source though, so I can go around back to check out the back of this shed.
Okay.
I need something to see with though, because it's now nighttime and we're
course.
next to a spooky forest.
Yes. All right. So Velma's looking for
And I'm alone.
Velma's looking for a like a flashlight
Or something.
or something like that. So she's kind of scrounging around through stuff. But you guys are splitting up. So where's the other where are the other folks going?
used before.
What are the other folks doing?
So I think I'm pushing Scooby in the baby carriage.
Okay.
I've got a gray wig on, big glasses, and just a pajama dress on.
Can I suggest that the wig is a mop?
Yes.
So
Thank
this
you.
is like a house, right?
I think this is like an abandoned house, kind of near to the misty, spooky woods.
So is it open? Is the house open? Did we get to the back in?
Yeah, it's no. I think you were able to go around back to a shed, but the house is abandoned. It looks real old. It says noticed by order of the local magistrate. Get out of
Hear
here!
ye, hear ye.
Hear ye! It's 1970. Get out!
It doesn't look like anybody's in here.
Apparently, people have been here because there's those things, at least in the shed. But you want to check out the inside of the house, Fred?
Yeah.
All right. So Fred's checking out the inside of the house.
I'll join you, Fred.
Daphne will be with Fred.
Typical.
And Scooby and Shaggy, are they just walking back into town?
I think we're walking around the perimeter of the forest.
We're checking out the perimeter and maybe picking berries along the way because we're hungry.
Yeah, no.
You're super scared, but there's blackberries nearby.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Shaggy's just nice job, little son. I'm just your little mom.
What's your son's name?
Little.
Can't start with an S.
Ooh.
What's a famous 70s baby?
Damien.
This is my son,
From the
Lindbergh
Omen.
baby man.
It's murderous child.
From way earlier in the 70s. Yeah. Famous
Baby.
baby.
A famous baby.
Yeah.
This is Baby Huey.
Go with Gerber.
Oh, Gerber.
Baby Dick.
love Jesus.
What?
This is Baby Richard.
Thank you. Like Richard Nixon.
And Scooby's going Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's just two little stubby fingers, like.
Shaggy's going out of his way to make sure that no one thinks that there's a pet around here. It's like, yeah, just don't worry about us. Just a humble mother and her baby Dick.
All right. Okay, so
Just picking berries like you do at midnight for my hungry baby. All right, but give me some of them.
fucking get your own. Scooby gets
Maybe one, I'll like toss you one and I'll eat two.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So Velma is looking out back, or she's like kind of searching through stuff in this shed, and it seems like it had been a tool shed, but it's like super dilapidated. And you're able to find a flashlight, but it's real kind of like flickery. So as you're walking around in the back, it keeps kind of flickering on and off, and flickering on and off and on and off. Here's, as you're back there though, you hear
Lose your
footsteps.
I will. Okay, I hear footsteps.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what would you say?
Do I have to roll for something? Like, what do I...
So, well, what's your response to you hearing footsteps?
I immediately duck around a tree that's nearby and I hide. I can still see what's going on around the shed, but they can't see me.
Okay, so that's your game plan is to do that.
Yeah, it's to hide to see who's coming.
Okay, so you go to sneak around a tree. I want to have you do a stress roll.
Yeah, I'm
A
stressed.
stress roll.
My physical is 1.
So this is a little bit spookier than the bugs that Daphne
Yeah, I know. I'm freaked
dealt with
out.
earlier. So this is a 2. So you're gonna roll 2 dice,
Okay.
and you're going to keep the lower of the 2 dice.
Okay. Oh, there were 3 in here. Sorry. Let me roll again.
Oh, cheater.
I didn't mean to.
Oh no.
Oh no,
It's
you
a
rolled
1.
Okay, a complete and total nuclear meltdown.
What?
All right. So you're going to lose the number of skill dice. So you're going to lose 2. So 2 of your skills. You're going to lose 2 points out of 1, or 1 point out of 2 different skills. So your skills are taking a hit.
Oh, damn it. Well, I'm going to keep my intellect. I'm just going to...
So
I'll lose 1 from equipment and 1 from personality, I guess.
okay.
So I'm down to 1 for each of those.
All right. So yeah, you go to
That sucks.
hide around this thing, and all you do is you see these glowing, spooky eyes, and you're like, ah! And we cut away. That's not cool.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
All right. The next morning, Velma's eviscerated corpse is found. No, the
She's hanging from a tree.
yeah. Oh my
God.
god, this got so dark.
You're dressed like a puppy.
I'm coming for you, baby dick.
Yeah.
Give me that baby dick.
My God.
All right. So, all right. Well, Jacob's in the can. So we got. There he is. He's back.
Come on,
okay.
Daphne.
So Daphne and Fred are in. They're investigating the forest.
No, the house.
They're going through the house, trying to find more information in the house. Okay. So this seems like you're searching for clues or that kind of thing. So this
Yeah.
seems like an intellect roll or an intelligence roll.
Oh shit.
You guys haven't seen it.
Can I have him roll instead? I feel like
They're the same.
so. I just rolled 2, right?
Unless you have a thing that is an ability that is applicable.
Nope. Traps, item things.
Yeah, so you just roll 2 and you keep the higher of the 2.
5.
5 is pretty darn good. Alright, so with 5, it's good. Describe the result and you gain a point. So I got down that you got a point. Alright, so you guys are going through this house and you're looking around. And again, this place is dark and most of the windows are kind of like a lot of the windows are boarded up, but you can see like little beams of kind of starlight and whatnot coming through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, moonlight. It's very romantic, and it's a marvelous night for a moon dance, as one of this town's residents might suggest.
Nice.
And so, the fantabulous scene that you see in front of you is this really dilapidated house, and
Is it 2-story or 1-story?
I think it's a 2-story house. Just for
Oh,
some
those creaky
more.
stairs.
Yeah, and like you guys step on the stairs and they're creaking real crazily. And
Keep going.
yeah, eventually you see an area that you're like, wait a minute. The boards on these windows are way more boarded up. And it looks like maybe somebody's been living here.
Ooh.
And you even see a lantern.
They don't pay their electricity.
And they don't pay their electricity bill. So, you guys, one of you like turns on the lantern, and I'll let you tell me what the crazy thing you see is.
An old school diving suit hanging from the ceiling.
Oh, what?
Like they're the huge, spooky submarine with like the massive head and the huge chunky limbs, like the old timey.
I think one of the villains was that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's straight
It was
from
like
the
in the
Scooby-Doo episode.
Drawing on it.
The beginning, right? The theme song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was one in there, I think.
Yeah, we couldn't
Sure.
finish singing.
Is that what we see?
A diving suit?
We have to confirm first.
I remember what it looks like.
They are very spooky. Some of them are
Oh.
really creepy looking.
Wow, we're like a
Well,
spooky
these are not creepy looking.
dog
spooked out,
catching net or something.
What did you type? Diving suit cartoon. I was like, why is there a monkey in there?
First monkeys in space, now monkeys in the ocean. These monkeys are taking our goddamn jobs.
Should have
Dur,
Never
dur, dur, dur.
taken our gun.
I'm open
So
to
it's
other
hanging from
ideas.
the ceiling?
That's fine. I just thought that would be scary and very Scooby-Doo thematic.
Okay, so you turn on this thing and Fred, it's like there's this thing and it's right there, and I think we gotta have you make a stress roll, just a 1 stress from this because it's not quite as spooky. You got the successful roll from before.
Sorry.
What do you get?
Nice. It's a 6.
Nice.
6. Okay, so you're absolutely fine. So
Oh, it's a diving suit.
yeah, like there's like the crazy.
You're somehow
sting.
wearing it.
Yeah. There's a crazy like sting of like, and you're like, don't worry, Daphne, it's just a diving suit. All right, and you actually get an extra. You get to boost up one of your things.
Wow, I got smarter from this diving
Somehow
suit.
seeing this diving suit made me
Ooh,
smarter.
Equipment. Cause
So you're like, I can
I'll
use
use
this.
this.
Oh,
Yeah.
You put the helmet on.
Yeah. So you see this diving suit, and there's all these books all over the place.
should have grabbed a book.
Yeah, but
Start
the
a
books.
collection.
The books
Learn
are
how
like
to read.
yeah, the books are like a real. It's not in English.
Is it in German?
It's all Mein Kampf.
You're like,
wondering.
well, this. I don't know if this doesn't look like English. This definitely isn't English. I think it might be German.
Wait a second. Are the books wet?
Sopping.
Where's the nearest lake? Body of water? Is there an ocean
I bet
nearby?
there might be one in the forest.
Ooh, you
We should
might
take
have to.
this suit and go.
We should go find Velma and look at the map.
Oh yeah, I guess we could grab Velma
Yeah.
first.
I forgot I had my map.
All right.
yeah.
So you guys found that stuff. So meanwhile, Mama and Lil Richard are. We got the baby carriage, and you're just walking around, or what is?
We're
Are you, like-
inspecting the grounds. We're like,
Yeah, like what did the other gang members tell us to do? Because we're not doing whatever they said.
they didn't tell us to do anything. And so since they were inside the house and she's in the shed, we were just kind of walking the perimeter.
Okay.
Like
And eating
what-
berries.
it's like we'll hold down the fort here, man.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
They just, they kind of ran away from most of
yeah,
them.
that's what we said, and then we're like, hey, like there might be some berries in the forest if we go deeper in there. I think those bushes, those are dimple bushes.
That's me, Marge Dimplebush. All right. So
That's what happened.
yeah. So you guys are kind of
we straight off into the forest.
yeah. You guys are walking along in the forest. When you hear something spooky, you're like. And we see like a long scene of like you guys walking and talking and an ominous shadow behind you for like way longer as you're still goofing around and being like, toss one of those berries up here, man. And Scooby tosses one up towards Shaggy, but he misses, and you hear, and I feel you guys go, and you turn around. Go ahead and make a stress roll for me as you see a spooky, shadowy figure with glowing eyes.
You said we can use one of our abilities to add to this?
Yes, or to ditch the worst die.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I'm gonna hide in something useful. I'm gonna hide in the baby carriage with Scooby.
Okay,
Does that sound good?
sounds good. So I think with this, you guys both have to make this roll.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are you gonna use one of your things? How much stress was it?
I think this one's 3, especially for you guys because you guys are scared of everything.
Mm-hmm.
What do I have to?
So you're going to have to roll, at the moment you'll have to roll 3 dice, but if you use an ability, you can ditch the worst of them.
So to add to the die, I gotta use an ability, one of my abilities? Is that
Yeah,
what
if
you're
you
saying?
can, one of the listed things, you can figure out a way that any of those would help you.
Intellect?
The other things.
Oh, these things.
Yes. Your special powers.
Yes, hiding in something useful, right?
Oh, you have that too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
So
hiding.
we both hide.
Yeah, so you're both like,
Yeah.
"Rrr."
Yeah, I'm hiding in there already.
All right, so each of you go ahead and you're just going to roll 3 dice, and the lowest one ditch.
Damn it.
David got 2 ones.
I need another die.
So Shaggy got a 1.
I have a 6, a 2, and a 1.
All right, so you got a
2.
2. Okay, so Scooby is frazzled and is going to lose 2 points of his skills. His skills are going to drop down by 2.
Of any of them?
So 2 of 1 or 1 out of 2 different ones. Shaggy is going to lose 3. So that's pretty tough. That means you guys might be working with some zeros pretty soon.
All right, so I went down 1 point on 2 things. Correct?
Sure, or
Yeah, you can split up.
1 point on 2 different things, or
Yeah.
2 points out of 1 thing. And we see these guys. Jump into the baby carriage, and
It just takes the baby carriage away or something.
yeah, you. Oh yeah, I think that is what goes on.
And he jumps out of the dress too.
Oh yeah, exactly. And the dress goes in one direction, the baby bonnet goes in another direction, and we see this kind of shadowy thing kind of clearly grab the baby carriage, and then we cut to commercial.
Thanks for joining us. Scooby and the gang will be back next week. This show was Marisa as Ruby Roo, Alex as Velma Dinkley, David as Noville Shaggy Roberts, Jacob as Daphne Blake, and Katie as Fred Jones. Roston was your rainmaster.